That sweet city woman, she moves through the light, controlling my mind and my soul. When you reach out for me, girl, and the feeling is right, I get that night fever, night fever. You know how to do it. Give me that night fever, night fever. You know how to show it.
Hi, everybody. It's Monday, May 18th. David Gordon from TheaterMania here with Juan Pablo Di Pace. How are you?
Hi, David. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for doing this. I'm excited to talk to you about Fuller House and everything. That was a clip of you singing at Feinstein's 54 Below in New York City a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I know you do the TV stuff, but you also do theater. And you've been in a bunch of things. But I want to start with Fuller House, which is ending its run this season.
It is.
Yeah.
It's ending the run in a few weeks, actually.
I know.
2nd of June, yeah. The last episodes, which, as you see in my house here, there's a little mic up there.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing the dubbing in my own house for these 9 episodes in Spanish and Italian.
Oh, no kidding.
For the last week and a half, yeah. And we got one more day to go. So I've seen everything. I know everything. And I'm pleased to report that these are probably the best episodes for a good while. Like, these are great episodes.
It's such a delightful show. Did you grow up on the original Full House?
No. I did not, but I didn't grow up on it because I wasn't exposed to it.
Mm-hmm.
I was exposed in Argentina and Buenos Aires in the 90s. I was exposed to Friends and The Nanny and Cheers, but we didn't get Fuller House for some reason. Right. I don't know, maybe it was too blonde. Blonde people in it, I don't know, but we didn't get it. I know that they got it later. Afterwards, but not when I was growing up. So it was nice when I got the job, because it was like, I don't know who you people are, but hello. And then, everyone was like, oh my God, do you know who you're working with? I'm like, no.
Did you go back and watch it? Did you go back and watch any of the episodes of the original?
Yeah, of course I did. And it's so charming. It's so lovely. And my favorite is, my favorite small character is like little Stephanie. I mean, that's so dry. I love it. Yeah, so lucky to be part of it. And 5 seasons. That's a lot.
It is. What was it like that first season on set, where everybody had sort of done all of this and done these characters already, and then you and a couple other people come in? Tell me, like, were they welcoming? Were they like happy to see you?
Yeah, I mean, it was the whole thing was very surreal, because like most times that I get a cool job, it was very fast.
Mm-hmm.
And so one day I was doing the chemistry read with Andrea Barber, who plays Kimmy, and Sony Nicole, who plays Ramona. I was in Warner Brothers doing the chemistry read. The next minute I go home, I get a call, you're in. The next minute we're doing the first, like the next day we were doing the read through for the first episode with cameras and everything, and all the bosses of Netflix and Warner Brothers. And thank God in the read through, people laughed at whatever I was doing, because I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, well, let me just do this accent. Let me just do this. And so people laughed, and I was like, not that stuff does, like, sometimes it can be, for those who aren't exposed to what it's like to be in a new show. It is very frightening, because especially that read through, that first table read, because people get fired off the read through. You might get the job, everyone might say yes and sign off on you playing that character, and then when you go to the read through, they see you do the thing in the whole group, and they might go, "We made a mistake. He's not the guy for us." So you get fired, like the next day.
Yeah.
So it can be heartbreaking, and it's very nerve-wracking. So I was lucky that people laughed, and next thing I know, we're shooting episode 1 on the Friends stage.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Friends and Full House, like Full House and Friends were the same stage 24. Warner Brothers. And so kind of magical. I was probably using like Lisa Kudrow's dressing room or something. So it was kind of amazing. And they were sweet. They were so sweet to me from day one, from moment one. There was zero egos. This is not a cast that has egos. Everyone in them is very supportive and very nice. And we all laugh. We go to work and we laugh every single day, and we make each other laugh. So it's kind of a bummer because everyone, when we finished, all the whole crew was like, "You guys don't know how lucky you are because you will never have this again." In terms of a set that is such a happy set.
Yeah.
You know.
If you have questions for Juan Pablo, pop them in the comments. We'll get to them. I want to talk about like shooting the final season. Did you got through all the episodes? Like, when did you shoot this?
These last 9 we shot. Yeah. We shot it from like, I want to say May to November last year.
So about a year ago. So, and you weren't shut down by this, so it's all in fall.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. They shot everything they wanted to shoot. So it's like it's exactly what they imagined it would be.
Was it sad, like going in for the season premiere, knowing that this was it?
Well, we haven't had it yet. I mean, you mean for
when you were filming? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there were a lot of tears. The girls were a mess for, especially the last 5 episodes. It was, you would see Candace or Jodie or Andrea, sniffle in the corner. The last table read was heartbreaking. I have some video. I have some video of the 3 of them hugging and crying at the same time, and I've never posted it because it just feels so intimate and so like heartbreaking. And yeah, it's a whole journey especially for them of like 30 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Where do we find your character this season? Where do we find Fernando?
Well,
what can you say?
What?
What can you say about it? Because I know Netflix is.
Fernando. I mean, he's being himself as usual. He's super excited to get married. Super excited, and he sings He sings and he dances again, and I mean it's basically about him and Kimmy and how they sort of. Wait, have we seen the episode? I think we've already seen the episode where she goes on dates. So she goes on a few dates to really check if he's the one, and he's distraught by this. So we've seen that already. So now it's the preparation. Now it's the preparation of the wedding. So it's the dresses and the suits and the what you call it, the bachelor and bachelorette parties.
Yeah,
all of that's coming up.
Did you always want to be, like, growing up, did you want to be an actor?
Well, growing up early on, I wanted to be a Disney animator.
Oh.
Yeah. I was very good with a pencil. I still am. But, someone planted the seed of theater in my life. And when I stepped on stage at 17 years old to play Danny Zuko, like my brain exploded, and I was like, oh no, wrong career move. Let's just do this now. And so I completely shifted this dream that I was like harvesting for many years. Like I was already in touch with Disney, and
I didn't know that. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I was in touch with like the whole thing, and I was gonna go to Kale Arts and all of that. And it just like from one day to the next, it was like a light bulb. Yeah, and I think it's because, I mean, in the future it will be very clear, I feel.
Yeah.
But my life has always been sort of like different steps towards something that then, like all these different tools that I learned along the way, you know, the dancing, the singing, the drawing, photography, the writing, it's taking me to a place where the place of director, where I get to use all those things.
Yeah.
Like now, for example, I'm getting more and more into that, and yeah, all that stuff that I did back then, it's so useful for telling stories. Like, you know, in the clip before, I was telling a story through song, and that's probably one of my best ways to tell a story is through song. Yeah, I don't know, did I completely mess the question up?
No, it's good. I really want to talk to you about your, like, are you a huge Disney fan? Is that why you wanted to be a Disney animator?
I was a huge, I mean, not that I'm not anymore, but
right.
But I was a fan of the golden era of Disney. I was a fan of the hand-drawn cartoons.
Yeah, the cool stuff.
The cool stuff, the stuff where they really used their artistry, craftsmanship to tell stories. You know, like, I mean, Sleeping Beauty is one of the most beautiful cartoons ever.
Yeah.
And let's not, you know, sure, it's a princess and all that. But that's not what I mean. What I mean is, like, it emulates like all this stained glass art from, like, you know, France, and the music is like, I think it's Tchaikovsky. I think they use Tchaikovsky, Sleeping Beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And the bodies are so beautifully designed and elegant, and the lines. And I loved, like, what I used to freak out about was to see in every Disney film from the 50s, I mean, maybe earlier, but in every single Disney film, there was a slightly different design of line and shape and character. You know, like Pocahontas was all about the, you know, the brush strokes.
Yeah.
Hair and the leaves and all that had a very defined, and, you know, everyone was super tall and almost like Avatar, you know, and
yeah.
In Pocahontas they were very svelte.
Yeah.
But then in Little Mermaid it was all like round faces and round eyes, and, you know, Beauty and the Beast was its own magical kind of design as well, because it was the first time that 3D wasn't. So I used to love seeing, like, the evolution of Disney, and then CGI came about, and, in my opinion, sort of screwed it all up.
Yeah, I'm so fascinated. I'm a huge Disney fan, so I'm just going to keep asking you about a couple of Disney questions. How did you get in touch with them? You said you got in touch with them. So tell me about that.
Because I have a very persistent mother, and I was 12. I remember I was living in Madrid. I was 12, and my mom was on the train talking to a lady, showing this lady my drawings, my 12-year-old drawings. And this lady was like, oh my God, I actually know someone, a Spanish guy who works in Disney in LA.
Yeah.
And so this lady gave my mom this man's postal address. And so I wrote to him, and I was like, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. Here are my drawings. I would love to work in Disney one day. And he replied and said, oh my God, these are amazing. Here's my book. He sent me his own book signed by him. He's like, you should think about coming to Cal Arts, da, 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 da. So we kind of started having this conversation. I was pen pals with the guy who animated a lot of the sidekicks of Pocahontas and Little Mermaid. So I remember he did the... what is it? It wasn't a possum. What was that?
Raccoon?
Yeah, the raccoon. That's it. He was doing the raccoon. So yeah, we became like pen friends, and I would share drawings with him, and he would share, you know, all the latest news that nobody else knew about the coming films, and yeah, I was like so set on ending up there. My parents did not want to send me to Disney at 12. They wanted me to wait until like at least 16. And then when I turned 16, that's when everyone changed. At 16, I actually did my first. This must be so interesting for the theater folk out there who are going. Yeah.
It's my show, and I think it's cool, so that's fine.
All right, good. We think it's cool, so that's all. So at 16, I did a course on animation. Actually, it took because it was the first time that I was like, I want to try this thing. I want to see what it feels like, and I just didn't gel with it. I realized that as a Disney, as an animator, I was basically just repeating drawings other people had created.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're like the head of sort of character and you create the character, you design the characters, very few of those people. So unless you design the character, you're pretty much a person who replicates other people's work.
Right.
Like stop motion, Yeah. So I'm such a megalomaniac that I didn't feel that was my path. I wanted more control over the final product. So that's when theater came about. Speaking
of theater, tell me about the stage roles you played. I know you did Danny Zuko.
Yeah.
You've done Billy Flynn in Chicago.
Yes.
What else have you done?
I've done Tony Manero in Saturday Night Fever. I've done a character called Juan in a original Spanish musical called More Than 100 Lies.
Mm-hmm.
And I was tiny role in Mamma Mia movie Petros.
Right.
I had no lines, but I had a name.
And you could say you were in Mamma Mia the movie.
Yes, I can say I was there, and I kissed Colin Firth on the lips, and I was hanging out with Meryl. So I'm definitely Mamma Mia the movie.
Do you have like Broadway aspirations? Is that a thing you want to do?
Yeah, I do. I used to have more of what I have now, only because there used to be a time I was definitely, when I started my career, I wanted to be in the West End so badly.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to the West End. I was in Chicago. This is, and of course you realize it's bloody hard. It's
right.
8 shows a week, and you don't have a life. You can't really do anything apart from the show for a good year or whatever your contract is. But always in the back of my eye was, I want to do a Broadway show so bad. But I have a feeling that the moment that I do my first Broadway show, I will be able to rest happy and die happy. I just need that one.
Yeah.
That one music. I just one. And I've been so close to, not lying, about 7. Some of them were offers that then the show closed.
Right.
And some of them I got really close and then they chose someone else. So I have this love-hate relationship with Broadway. I really want to be part of it, but at the same time, I don't want it to consume my life because it's a grind.
Yeah,
it's a grind. It's tough, and I think the best day of doing a Broadway show is opening night. No, the best day is when you get the news.
Yeah,
you got it. And then it's like, oh my God, all this work.
Do you have dream theater roles that you want to play?
Yeah.
I want to hear that list.
Okay. Bobby and Company.
Oh yeah.
Sweeney and Sweeney Todd. Molina or Valentin in Kiss of the Spider Woman.
We have not had a Kiss of the Spider Woman revival yet.
No, we have not.
Producers are listening.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I mean, MCing Cabaret because it's super fun.
Of course.
I'm very picky. I'm very picky with musicals. I only like the dark ones.
Yeah.
I like the dark musicals. I don't care for happy-go-lucky musicals. I actually dislike them.
So no Mamma Mia for you.
Well, Mamma Mia was interesting because when I got the job, I went to see the show. I went to see the show, and I remember thinking, "Oh, this is gonna be interesting." Whoops.
Yeah.
Oh. This was my opinion. I was like,
of course.
I love the music because ABBA is the best, but is this gonna work? And then the movie somehow, I don't know what the hell happened. I think it was casting and Philip Lloyd, the director. It just elevated the show to new heights. And that's usually the opposite. Like, you know, you get things like, no, I don't want to be I don't want to on people's work, but usually the show is better than the movie.
Yeah.
If the show originated the idea, like if it was first a movie, it's usually the movie's the best.
Right. But the other way around.
First a show, usually the show is better. But Mamma Mia was different. I think my opinion is that the movie is 1,000 times better than the show. In terms of like how deep they went into the characters and you know, just the look of it and the whole thing was gorgeous. I thought.
I'm gonna pop in a question from a viewer. What is your favorite role to date that you've played?
Ooh. They're like children. I can't really choose. You know, they all taught me something.
Yeah.
That's what roles do. They teach you something about you that you need to listen to, that you need to pay attention to. You know, when I played Tony Manero, who was this cocky bastard of a teenager, I was myself having, self-confidence issues.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that I was given this cocky teenager and that I had to put on this persona every night, it actually helped me become more confident in my own abilities, in my own, and just my relations with others. Because he was the king. He was like, you all people, you're little people. I'm the king here. And so it taught me that. I mean, not that I was faking it, but I had to find a side of my personality where I could bring that out of me. And of course, we all have it. We can all be cocky bastards. I mean, So that was that. And then obviously the role of Jesus Christ forced me to be a better person. Like there was certain things that happened on set, things that, you know, frustrated the crap out of me. And I had to sort of like rise above all that. And I was like, no, okay, I'm playing the Son of God. What would he do? How would he feel? How would he react in this situation? And it was awesome because I was forced to exercise other parts of my personality. And then there's the fun, the fun characters are both Fernando and Nicholas from Dallas. Like Nicholas was this killer billionaire sort of manipulating guy, and then that's just so much fun to play. It came at a point in my life where I needed to have that kind of fun. And then Fernando, which was a gift because it allowed me to not take myself seriously. And I think that is paramount in any actor, any artist, not to take yourself. RuPaul says it best, it's like life is drag, so don't take any of it seriously. And it's true. Like we make so much of so little. And so Fernando was that, going to work was making people laugh. So if I have to tickle someone else, then I have to tickle myself. So it was finding that to be funny, I don't have to be funny. To be funny, I have to have fun with whatever I'm doing, right? I don't have to make other people laugh. I have to make myself laugh. And that's how Fernando came to be. It's like this child that is excited about life and everything. And so he's like 5 years old up here. They're all like my little children.
A lot of people are asking in the comments if there were to be a Kimmy Gibbler Fernando spinoff, would you be interested? Would you do it?
Of course. Yeah, I would. I don't know how viable that would be.
Right.
Because there's a whole issue with rights, and the characters are owned by this and that, and Warner and Netflix and all that. So I don't know how possible that would be, but it would be fun. It would be really fun to see how these two met, how
That would be fun.
Yeah, how they function, how their day-to-day is, because they're sort of satellite.
Right.
Fernando definitely is a satellite character. You just see him and he's just this ball of energy, and then he leaves. So it would be nice to see what his day-to-day is.
A couple of people are asking if you're going to release new music at any point.
I am. Yes. I'm literally, I know I keep saying this and I'm terrible at releasing music. I should be better at it. The only reason for me to be so slow in releasing music is because I am incredibly critical of my music. I'm not critical of other people's music. I can sing someone else's song in a heartbeat. But when it comes to stuff that I wrote or co-wrote, like sometimes it lives in my computer for 2 years and I go back and forth with, I really like this song, or I hate it. It's not right, So maybe I should just release them without even thinking, but that's not me. I don't do that. So no, right now they're being worked. There's about 5 songs. They're being worked by different producers, one in Spain, one here. So I'm hoping that it's going to be not later than the summer. I'm hoping. But because I like doing things in a complicated way, I'm not just happy releasing a song. I want to release like a proper epic video with it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, and so I'm already thinking, there's these 3 songs that I think are the 3. And I want to do like a trilogy video situation.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
But that means shooting it.
Right.
And I would have to shoot those things before I release the thing so that they all come out at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, it might take a minute, but bear with me. Yes, there is stuff. I just want it to be perfect.
Yeah. And I think on that note, it's a good place to end.
Okay.
I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, David.
Fuller House is back next month on Netflix.
What's that?
Fuller House is back next month on Netflix.
Yes, Fuller House is back on the 2nd of June.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, in quarantine, in confinement, I created a show called Minutiae, and it's a web series on YouTube. Every Thursday, there's a new episode, and it's basically this character called Tomas, an actor, neurotic actor who's having conversations with his therapist.
Amazing.
The therapist is Jack Plotnick.
Oh, cool.
Yes, he co-created the show Disaster on Broadway. And there's Andrea Barber makes a cameo as my agent. Sony Nicole Bringas Ramona makes a cameo as my niece. So I'm kind of repurposing like actors I adore into different parts that people are not used to seeing them in.
And that's on your YouTube channel. It's
on my YouTube channel, and it's every Thursday. I try to premiere a new episode every Thursday. So please go there, subscribe, because I think they are hilarious. They're very stupid, but fun. And it's not Fuller House humor. It's a little more twisted.
I think that's exactly what we need right now.
Yeah.
Kind of escape.
It's not about COVID. It's not about, yes, it happens in confinement because the guy's in his house, but every episode is it's called Minutiae because it's about minutia of life that we make it huge, and it's usually dumb stuff, but in our heads, it's huge.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you, David.
I really appreciate it. We're back tomorrow at 2:00 with Rebecca Naomi Jones. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Bye.
Bye.